Best quotes of St. Francis of Assisi. Keep a clear-eyed life scent. Do not forget your purpose and destiny as God's creature. What you are in His sight is what you are and nothing more. Remember that when you leave this earth, you can take with you nothing that you have received, only what you have given. A full heart, enriched by honest service, love, sacrifice, and courage. All the darkness in the world cannot extinguish the light of a single candle. Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. Where there is charity and wisdom, there is neither fear nor ignorance. The measure of love is to love without measure. Lord, help me to live this day quietly, easily, to lean upon Thy great strength, trust fully, rest fully, to wait for the unfolding of Thy will, patiently, serenely, to meet others peacefully, joyously, to face tomorrow confidently, courageously. Lord, make me an instrument of Thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Do few things, but do them well. Simple joys are holy. God requires that we assist the animals when they need our help. Each being, human or creature, has the same right of protection. If you have men who will exclude any of God's creatures from the shelter of compassion and pity, you will have men who will deal likewise with their fellow men. What do you have to fear? Nothing. Whom do you have to fear? No one. Why? Because whoever has joined forces with God obtains three great privileges: omnipotence without power, intoxication without wine, and life without death. Above all, the grace and the gifts that Christ gives to His beloved is that of overcoming self. I have been all things unholy. If God can work through me, He can work through anyone. It was easy to love God in all that was beautiful. The lessons of deeper knowledge, though, instructed me to embrace God in all things. The world is a great stage on which God displays His many wonders. Do all you can to preach the gospel, and if necessary, use words. The deeds you do may be the only sermon some persons will hear today. It is no use walking anywhere to preach, unless our walking is our preaching. What is it that stands higher than words? Action. What is it that stands higher than action? Silence. For it is in giving that we receive. He who works with his hands, and his head, and his heart is an artist. A single sunbeam is enough to drive away many shadows. You cannot all abandon your possessions, but at least you can change your attitude about them. All getting separates you from others. All giving unites to others. No one is to be called an enemy. All are your benefactors, and no one does you harm. You have no enemy except yourselves. We must not be wise and prudent according to the flesh, Rather, we must be simple, humble, and pure. You can show your love to others by not wishing they were better Christians. You call it a scene that I love the dog above all else. The dog stayed with me in the storm. The man, not even in the wind. You should never praise anyone until you see how he turns out in the end. We have been called to heal wounds, to unite what has fallen apart, and to bring home those who have lost their way. The journey is essential to the dream. The only thing achieved in life without effort is failure. St. Francis of Assisi is a Christian saint, known as the patron saint of animals and ecology. He is considered so because he is said to preach to all, including birds and animals. He was inspired to lead a life of poverty as an itinerant preacher. St. Francis of Assisi gave up a life of materialism and wealth and found his purpose in Christ. Throughout his life, St. Francis preached the gospel and shared his love of all God's creations. Thank you for watching.